Ah, il y a les gens qui sortent la caméra là. Ils sont prêts, l'homme au Bob. On l'appelle Bob Sinclair. Ça va bien les gars? En pleine forme, vous êtes filmés, faites attention. Le son dance floor, rendez-vous sur le dancehall avec le groupe Typical. Là-bas c'est Milka.
Hey, Granny Gear here from 29inches.com. I guess I should say bonjour. So I'm in the land of fromage and good wine over in France, and I think I just used most of the French words that I know in that little introductory. I'm here in the Specialized booth. I'm here with Sam from Specialized, Sam Benedict, one of their marketing guys, and we're here to talk specifically and ride specifically 29ers, and that's kind of remarkable. So we're going to talk a little bit about how Specialized got to this point, how important 29ers are in their lineup for 2012 and going forward, and just exactly how all that happened and where it might be going. Hang on, we're going to talk. So Sam, on back of the camera here, got it pointing at you, but Specialized, one might say, hey, you know, you guys were late to the game. I think 2008, 2009, you can correct me if I'm wrong in there. But sometimes that's just careful planning and not really necessarily fear of getting your feet wet. So take us back a little bit to Specialized and their thoughts of 29ers, and then we'll kind of roll toward today and where we're going.
Well, it's always been the same at Specialized. We really focus in on the riders and what's going to benefit them and really make for a more fun ride. So in 2008, we started to pay attention to the 29, really started to see people looking at that for the benefits, but we hadn't figured out how to do it properly prior to then. So really focusing in on the geometry, we wanted to be able to accent the benefits of the wheels, but not have all those the detractors, the heaviness, some of the slow acceleration. So we needed to figure out how to plan for those and correct for those things and really make a better bike. And so it took some time, but 2008 was the start of it. Fast forward to 2012. We come all the way out here to France to the Roc d'Azur with 10 families of bikes and over 40 models of 29. So we're all in. We think it's a wonderful way to ride a bike and really the wave of the future.
So you guys just didn't take a 26-inch bike and make it fit big wheels?
No, that's we don't think the right way to do it. You absolutely can do that, but making sure that not only the geometry is specific for 29, but the wheels, the tires, the suspension, the gearing, everything, you know, even down to the handlebars. It's a different way to ride a bike, and so you really have to focus in on those and make sure that it's correct so you can get the most fun out of the bike as possible.
So now, you know, we're in Europe, of course, and Europe has been a little bit slow compared to the United States to get on the big wheels bandwagon, and still lags in some cases.
Yeah.
But they watch the racing very carefully. They're very keen on what the pros are riding.
Yeah.
And pros and of course pros on Specialized, they're starting to win. They are winning races, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, last year Barry Stander was the first guy to ever get on a podium at a World Cup with a 29er, and that was big. And this year it's just come full circle with Kohavi winning the World Championship, winning the World Cup overall. Christoph Sauser won the Marathon World Championship. Todd Wells has won back-to-back national championships on 29ers. So they really started to see the benefits once we were able to get the bikes as light as they expected a cross-country race bike to be. And that's by working with our top-end carbon frames, our carbon wheels, and making sure that all the components complemented that as good as we could.
Well, let's talk bikes a little bit for 2012 and see.
Lots of bikes.
You got lots of bikes. How many families did you say? 10 families?
10 families, from all the way from, you know, hey, I just want to get into mountain biking with a hard rock, and I'm interested to try it out, all the way up to your S-Works Epics and stump jumpers and, you know, everything in between.
Right, and we've been taking a bunch of photos of those, and we'll talk about it. But let's look at, if you were gonna pick a bike of your lineup for 2012 that you thought was, I don't know, not most, they're all important for different riders, but what are you most excited about for 2012 in the 29 lineup?
Well, I'd say the truth, it's really two bikes. For me, on, you know, being a pretty experienced rider, been doing it for a good amount of time, the Camber 29 is one that really gets me fired up, because it is a bike that really is reminiscent of the trail bikes of old. It has a really fun, slack, just great all-around riding characteristic, but with a shorter travel. So it's just a little bit easier to get on and understand, and I think it's just such a fun riding bike. And the other one that I'm really excited about is the Carve. It's our It's a performance-oriented bike, but it's not too expensive. It's a hardtail with a really nice frame. I've raced it a few times at Sea Otter and places like that, and it's not too expensive. Man, what a fun bike, and it really just gets people excited about riding a 2.9 for the first time.
And you know, carbon is big. I mean, carbon is big in everything, of course, but it seems like it's coming to 29ers a little bit later. But now, even the wheels. Now we're going to see lots of carbon wheels. So wheels are getting wider. Yeah. Tires are getting competitive. You got, what is it? The Renegade? Is that the race tire that I've seen on some of the pros bikes running around here? So there's almost no excuse now in big wheels between say the FSR and the Evo. All the way down to an S-Works hardtail. You can do almost anything out of, except for maybe really big downhill.
Right.
Got it all.
And to tell you the truth, I think that's part of the reason why Europe was a little bit slower to adopt, because they were a little nervous. Like, okay, am I going to be able to get wheels and tires and tubes and, you know, just those bare essentials where, you know, it wasn't always readily available. But with our line, we have your cross-country wheels, your trail wheels in 2.9, and even carbon tires all across the range. And so, like you said, there's no excuse. We have something for everybody through all the different price ranges as well.